Use 6 ceiling for closing, just this move here. Once you use this move, we need to work on 2 concepts to reconcile and to coordinate. One is that you have to be stiff to transmit power. But when you are stiff and using the stiff method to transmit power, if you are too stiff, you are transmitting power, but you hit a dead end. There is a conflict you cannot resolve. So you are stuck. But as soon as you are stuck, you can always be loose. When you are loose, then you are not stuck, but power stays on your own body, not transmitting. So you are not transmitting power when you are like this. And when you are transmitting power, you are like this, you are stuck. So we want to look for that place where everything is perfect. So that perfect thing started with, I'll show you the 2 contradictions first. So number 1 is, now you know the overall posture. I'll go close. The body, the chest, every part must be stiff so that when you make the move, it's like this. If it's like this, this is too loose. When it's too loose, power cannot transmit. And it's too tight, it transmits, but it cannot, because there's no room to modify it. And I'm hitting my opponent dead on. If I'm at, let's say, 1,000 pounds here, my opponent can only take 200, so it's very easy. But if my opponent can take 1,100 pounds, my move is useless. But the job of Tai Chi is to turn a useless move into a useful move by adding this oil or create a space when there is no space. So now, too stiff, too loose. So you train back and forth. Only train the 2 and feel that until you create something that's not nameable, not explainable. So won't work, then won't work. So your training can only be like this, use the 2. And then when you work with the people, do the same thing. You try to hit your opponent with 0 movement. It's like everything is like plates. And then you realize you are stuck all the time. Then you go like, oh, that's much easier. But you're not creating power. So you can roll on your opponent like this here, but you have no fighting power. Then you go, got stuck, then you can't fight either. Through this training, back and forth, in the end, you create something. Your synthesized effort gives you that ability. And once you have it, it's something unnameable. Same as we are used to Michael as a police officer talking that way. Then one day you see his painting and you say, how did you do that? And one is harsh, one is soft. The softness is by observing and doing things with a finesse. The other one is I have to be harsh to control you, to let you know that you back off. And how do you do that? It's life experience. And it's by doing both repeatedly until you get something out of it. For non-professionals, in either of these 2, you take one look and say, oh, that's not possible. Right? You can do either this or that, but not both. So we must do the stiff one and then do this one and find that perfect spot. So now I'll show you that spot. So stiff, cannot move, then I rotate my elbow and the shoulder. Now you see that the rotation does not take away the stiffness. Our problem is when you rotate, the stiffness is gone. And then you want to put some stiffness there, then you are like that, you can't rotate. So you must hold your hand very strongly, and also aim must be perfect, power must be there, then try to rotate. And when that happens, you find everything on your body is proportional. If the elbow does too much, power is lost. The power is not going to your hand. If you only do this, the power goes to your hand, but your body is left behind, it's not backing it up. So in the end, you can see the opening of the quad, power is the chest and the leg. And then the movement of the chest propels the bicep to drive power into your forearm. So everything is totally proportional. If this is not proportional, you're just doing this. So this is the drive. And again, this is the breaking point for me. For me, during my Tai Chi training, my breaking point move was 6 for closing. You must have the motion right now, like you're going through the motion like this. The outside is locked, the inside movements cause like this. That's why we have to train like this. There's so much tension there. At the beginning, the tension does not really create that shooting power, releasing power I'm talking about, but at least we're imitating that. There's a chance that there's so much of that. And John, you did a lot of this in the past, but the problem is that those things did not end up with creating a new way. The outside is fixed. You use the inside to move until all these movements are good, but they are not finding a match with the outside. Once the move, can you see, is matching the outside, it's causing the outside to move. And then you lock the outside, it's like, that's tension created. And the tension is going all over. But see, this is not connected, or this is not connected. Do you understand, Melvin?